Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Breakable Cookie here. First off, I'd like to apologize for any shakiness in the video. I'm using my iPhone to record this. I'm too poor after buying all this stuff to actually afford a nice decent camera with a tripod. But anyway, back to the story at hand. Finally got all my parts for my desktop build. I'm very excited. I sold my Alienware M18X about 2 months ago, I think, and then I had to wait a couple of days just to make sure the guy didn't want to return it, and then I could spend the money. So, parts finally arrived. I ordered everything from Newegg. They're great. They had a lot of good deals. Fast shipping, all that stuff. Definitely recommend Newegg. On to the build. My case, I chose an Antec DF85, the Dark Fleet series. This case looks sick. It's got a lot of fans, got a lot of lights, got a nice big window so I can see all my stuff. It's got removable fan filters, all that great stuff. Really like it, can't wait to use it. Should be pretty nice for my setup, especially with the color theme I'm going for. Onto the CPU. I went with the Intel Core i7 3770K. Can't wait to overclock that to 4.6 gigahertz. Boot drive, I went with an Intel 520 series 120 gig. For my RAM, I went with Corsair Vengeance 16 gig. That's four 4 gig cards. Should be pretty sweet. As for the keyboard, I decided to go old school. I went with the Logitech G19. I'll still be able to change all the colors on the keyboard like I could on my Alienware, but the biggest thing, I'm back to that Logitech LCD display that I used to have on my XPS M1730. Now this one's a little bit bigger and it's in color, but it's pretty much the same thing. I can run Fraps on it without having it on the screen. I can watch my CPU. I could do YouTube on it. All sorts of stuff. Pretty cool. As for cooling, I went with the H100 by Corsair. Now, I'm pretty sure this will be all that I need. But depending on my temps and how my overclocking goes, I might go for a custom water cooling loop later on down the road. But for right now, I'm sure this will handle everything I throw at it, especially after I get a push-pull configuration with fans. Monitor. I got a really sweet deal on this Samsung 23-inch. It is so sexy. Oh my god. I can't wait to open up this monitor and use it. It is the sexiest monitor I've ever seen. I really love Samsung. It does 3D, and it even came with free 3D glasses. That's like $150 for free. That's pretty sweet. And the monitor will turn anything into 3D with its own software. So I can watch YouTube in 3D, all sorts of stuff. Sound card. I went with the Zonar Phoebus gaming sound card from Asus. This card is pretty sick. It's got a little controller that I can plug headphones and a mic into and work the volume and all that. And it's got a specific thing for headphones that you get better sound quality, which is nice because I have Beats by Dre Pro headphones and I've never really had perfect sound quality out of them because I never had a real good sound card to work off of. Onto the graphics card. The biggest thing that I spent my money on, Asus DirectCU2 Overclock Edition. It's a triple slot card. I figured I'm only going to have one card, so I might as well go as big as possible, get the most cooling out of it. And it's got a really nice overclocking feature built in, so I can't wait to try this thing out. And it's a GTX 680. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. This thing should scream, especially after I overclock it. Onto the motherboard. I went with the Asus Sabertooth Z77. I really like the thermal armor idea with the fans and everything's covered. The whole motherboard is covered up. Looks really nice. And last but not least, I went with the Corsair AX850. This should handle everything that I throw at it. I'm not really too worried about my power supply at this point with only one card and that i7, which is actually pretty decent on power usage. So yeah, this is my setup so far. Should have it all together by the end of the next week, and I'll have another video with it all set up. Thanks, guys. Peace.